Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 3 of the build assembly for the Kavan Bristell B23. Now we're going to work on what this is all about. This is installing your receiver. And in this video, we're going to install a receiver, AR637T receiver. And I'm going to explain a couple of things to you here. When you get your plane, they have what they call a junction box or something right here. It's like Motion RC's Blue Box, but they have their own version. And if you're going to use a gyro receiver like this, you're pretty much going to bypass most of everything inside that box here. If you use a non-gyro receiver, then you can follow everything that's on here inside the manual. In the manual here, their diagram for hooking up that. That's if you're using a non-gyro receiver. When you start this, there are 3 plugs here. There's going to be a plug here, plug here, plug here. And what these 3 plugs in the back here for your rudder, flaps, and aileron. I already took out 2. Take them out. You're not going to need them. What you're going to do then is all you're going to use this box for is for the LEDs. And this plug basically is for the power of the LEDs, and that is in the 5th slot. Okay? So what you want to do is you plug in all your LEDs, red towards the back, black towards the front. Then you take this piece right here, this last one, that's in this series, because they all are listed. There's 5 LED, and you're going to need the power. So this basically is going to go, because there is no gear on this, you will put it into slot 5 on this receiver. So I'll just go ahead and do that right now. All right. So yellow is going to be up, and that's going to go into slot 5 right there. Okay. That'll power our LEDs. And that's all you need to do with that control board. Everything else is external. We have our ESC. That is going to go into slot 1 on your receiver. White will be facing towards us. Okay. Aileron is channel 2. Now when you open this, you're going to have 2 plugs like this right here. You're going to need to get yourself a set of Y cables. You're going to need 3 Y cables actually to complete this if you're using a gyro receiver. You're going to plug them in. Make sure your yellow is on your white, brown is on black on both ends. Okay? Then this obviously is your ailerons, and that is going to go into slot 2 on your receiver. And once again, yellow upward. And the next thing is you got your rudder for your rudder, and your rudder for your front gear. Okay, they work in conjunction. And once again, make sure all of your cables line up yellow on white. Then that and the rudder is going to go into slot 4. Slot 3 is your elevator, and that plug is right here. And white is going to be upward. Okay, so the last thing is pretty much is the flaps is going to go into 6. Next is I'm going to clean all this up and mount my receiver. I'm going to mount my receiver just like pretty much right there, going back and forth this way. Okay guys, I got that all cleaned up. As you see right there, there's that board I was talking about. The receiver is going this way. I put 1 antenna coming up this way and 1 antenna going through the back, poke the hole, push it in there, and cleaned it all up as best I can. I am going to go over what I set my system to. So first off, rates and expo. All control surfaces, aileron, rudder, elevator, 100% rates on high, 45% on expo on high. Come down to medium, I go 85, 40, okay? Low, 70-35. And that's on all three control surfaces, aileron, rudder, and elevator. Back out of there. Throttle cut is obviously assigned to H over there. That's where I want. Flap system. Basically, I set it up exactly as it is in the Sirius 1.5 meter. Okay, so I did 100% up, position 1, 0, 6% on mix on the elevator, and 100% on position 2, and 10% elevator mix. 2-second timer, okay? And I set that on position C. That's where I like mine. Switch B, I will set that for my control surfaces for safe AS3X and off. My rates are on F switch. That's where I like them. Okay. So the next thing is what I want to do is bind this plane up to my NX8. Okay. Now we're going to use on here right now, we're going to use a 4S 3200 mAh 14.8 volt. All right. They call up to a 4,000 pack on this. All right, so what I'm gonna do is get this bound up, and I'm not gonna bind it up in safe. We are going to set this up in safe and everything once we get into an AS3X, once we get into forward programming. Plug in the plane. Plug that in. I am going to hit the receiver. And now that's flashing. That's what you want. And I'm going to turn on the transmitter, as you'll see right here, hopefully. And I'm going to come into what they call, where is it? Bind. Okay, over there. Bind the plane.
DSMX 22 milliseconds. Telemetry. Bind complete.
Okay, it's just configuring. And then it's binding. All right, comes back out to the main menu. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check the control surfaces. Now, this aileron right here, okay, I noticed that the control horn on the bottom was snapped, and Anthony at FPV Build is sending me another one, so that is not going to work, okay? But here we go, and we're just going to test them out. All right, got our ailerons working. Elevator. Okay, and then we have our rudder. And we are. I don't have the front gear hooked up yet, so that's working. And then of course we have our flaps. You see there. Okay. Now, they are working, and throttle test. Throttle cut test it. Next, what I'll have to do is I'm going to go into forward programming and set that all up. As you see, the LEDs are working there on each side. Okay, see all that there. And over there. Now there's going to be some mechanical trimming, adjusting, and everything whatsoever on all the surfaces and everything. And I'm hearing a little bit of something down over here on the elevator, okay? And I think it sounds like it's, if you can hear that, it sounds like it's rubbing a little bit. And I might have to sand those surfaces up a little bit to make sure. I didn't set anything. I did not really tighten down the front gear yet. We'll get into that a little bit later. Okay, so that has to be really adjusted. Okay, so that basically is the binding and the initial setup, all your cable management and your plug setup, and how to bypass that the control board if you're using a spektrum or a gyro receiver. If not, you just follow everything there, and they have it in their manual. You can see there, in the diagram if you're going to use a non-gyro receiver. All right, so overall, we're looking good. I did set a timer on here for 5 minutes, and I'll get in more into the radio setup and everything whatsoever once we get into forward programming. This is a wonderful looking plane. Hope you enjoy it. Links down in the description if you want to get one. And Anthony at FPV Builds is wonderful. He'll answer all your questions and you'll go from there. All right, so we'll be right back. We'll go into forward programming and setting up AS3X and safe. I always sign the switches with audio. I'll talk about that in the next video. All right, so thanks for watching.